This information presented in this video is based on the McNeilus brand, Pacific Series model, front loader. The content herein has been adapted from 2010 information. This YouTube channel is not associated with McNeilus. The content herein is being provided as educational and entertainment purposes only. This video is not intended for any type of training.
Welcome to Feed Your Brain.
Please hit like and subscribe, that helps a lot. This is inside the cab. For this video we will be looking at this control panel and all of the buttons on it. And we will be looking at the joystick here. There are three types of joysticks available for this front loader. This one is called the dual axis single lever joystick. This one is called the optional dual lever controls. And this one is called the optional single lever joystick. The control panel and joystick are referred to as the in-cab controls because these controls are inside the cab, which is located to the right of the driver. This is the control panel. Here is the emergency stop button, or e-stop for short. Pushing this button disables all hydraulic and electric vehicle functions. This is the red LED warning light. If this light is on or flashing, it means that there is an unsafe condition. Look at the LED lights on the control box to see what the unsafe condition is. All of these buttons control the functions of the garbage truck. And this panel displays error codes and the status of operations. These buttons will be explained in more detail in this video, stay tuned. McNeilus is the manufacturer of this part of the waste collecting vehicle. This includes the actual waste collecting components, along with the in-cab controls. Then this equipment is installed onto a chassis, such as this one, and a common chassis manufacturer for trucks is Mack trucks, and this particular chassis is the Mack TerraPro Chassis. This chassis is called a cab over, because the cab is over the front axle, and indeed, the driver sits out in front of the front axle. This type of chassis and truck is classified as a Class 8 vehicle, allowing for a gross vehicle weight of over 35,000 pounds. This Pacifica series of front loaders is the lightest weight waste truck available. And the Pacifica comes with a 40 cubic yard capacity. The distance from here to here is 284 inches, or about 23.5 feet wide. The arms can lift up to 8,000 pounds. An option with this model is to add axle scales so the operator can know the gross vehicle weight while from inside the cab. You can even add on a pressurized water tank, an example is shown here, so that the operator can attach a hose to the tank and rinse off debris from the vehicle using pressurized water. The air pressure from the truck's brake system is used for the pressure. And this is the hydraulic fluid reservoir tank. And the hydraulic fluid system gets its power from the transmission by way of a PTO, or Power Take Off part that sends power from the transmission to the hydraulic pump. This box up here is a covering that houses the CNG tanks, or compressed natural gas tanks, which powers the truck's engine. This truck does not use diesel fuel, it uses compressed natural gas. These two axles are called Tandem Axles since they are side by side, and each axle has 4 wheels, so in the back here are 2 axles and a total of 8 wheels. And if that wasn't enough wheels, 2 wheels can be added here, called pusher wheels. And during empty and light loads, these pusher wheels are kept up off the ground. Then when the load gets heavy enough, the operator lowers these pusher wheels down, and then these 2 extra wheels give the truck more support for heavier weight. Another option, which is more commonly seen, is to add 2 wheels in the back here. These 2 extra wheels in the back are called tag wheels, because they are seen as tagging along behind the rear wheels. And just like the pusher wheels, during empty and light loads, these tag wheels are kept up off the ground, and then when the load gets heavy enough, the operator lowers these tag wheels down, giving the truck extra support. For traveling from site to site, the arms and forks must be positioned properly for driving down the road. The proper positions are called home positions, and there are 3 proper home positions. This is position 1, with the forks raised and the arms lowered. This is home position option number 2, with the forks raised and the arms also raised above the windshield. And this is home position option number 3, with the forks tucked into the arms, and the arms fully raised up to the hopper. So the operator has chosen one of the 3 mentioned home positions before driving to another site. And before any driving occurs, the operator needs to 1. Make sure that the tailgate is fully closed. 2. Press the pump button to the off position in order to disable all hydraulic functions. The button light will turn from green, which means activated, to off, or gray, which means deactivated, and 3. Turn on all warning and strobe lights. And then the operator drives on to the next site. Let's now look at how the waste is compacted inside the hopper and within the container. Let's look at this profile of the garbage truck, and let's also look at the top view of the garbage truck. Imagine that this is looking down onto the garbage truck from directly above it. This rectangle is the open part of the container, and is called the hopper. And this open area is this area on the garbage truck. This green rectangle is the top door, and here it is shown in the fully open position. And here is the door sliding to the closed position. And what do you notice here? That's right, this is a hydraulic cylinder. And this is a hydraulic piston rod, which is closing the top door. Inside the hopper is this part, which is called the Pack Eject Blade. And now let's imagine we can see inside the empty container of the profile truck, like this. And inside the container, at the hopper area, and against the front of the container, is the Pack Eject Blade situated like this. So let's look at how this Pack Eject Blade moves. And what do you notice here? Again, here are hydraulic cylinders. There is one on top, and one hydraulic cylinder underneath. And this Pack Eject Blade moves from the operator pressing any of these 3 buttons here. This is the Auto Pack Eject button, which automatically goes through an auto pack cycle. This is the Retract button, which moves the packing blade back to the home position. And this is the Extend button, which extends the blade, and pressing again stops the blade from moving. And you know when a function or button is active, because the green light above the icon is on. And the Pack Eject Blade continues to move back. And for the autopack function, an autopack cycle ends here at the end of the hopper, when the tailgate is closed, and the top door is open, and the arms are lowered. When this manual extend button is pressed, and the tailgate is closed, the arms are down, and the top door is open, the blade will also stop here as well. Since stopping here is the packing feature of the blade is packing, or compressing, the waste into the container. Then, when the tailgate is fully open, and the engine speed is below 1600 RPM, pressing the Auto Pack Eject button or holding down the Manual Eject button, will make the Pack Eject Blade extend all the way to the end of the container, to push out all of the waste at a collection facility. Now let's look at how this front loader garbage truck picks up and empties out a dumpster. Here is the dumpster. This particular dumpster is called a 6-yard, because it is a 6-yard capacity, meaning that this dumpster can hold up to 6 cubic yards of volume. There are dumpsters smaller than this size, and dumpsters larger than this size. A 6-yard dumpster is about 6 feet tall. So an average-sized person standing next to it would be about this tall, slightly shorter than the height of this dumpster. Now let's see how this dumpster gets emptied by a garbage truck. Here comes the garbage truck. The operator pulls up right in front of the dumpster and then slows down very slow. Then the operator turns on the hydraulic fluid pump by pressing in this button. Then the light on this button turns green. Before lifting any container, the operator needs to make sure that the top door is open and the Pack Eject Blade is in the home position. The operator also needs to make sure that all non-operator persons are at least 20 feet away from all areas of the packer, for safety. The operator also needs to make sure that the area above the garbage truck is clear of any objects and clear of any electrical power lines before raising the arms. Now the operator can lower the 2 forks, which are here, and lower the 2 arms, which are here. If the cab is equipped with this dual-axis single-lever joystick, then pushing the joystick forward lowers the arms. Then the 2 forks are lowered by pushing the joystick to the right or away from the operator. If the cab is equipped with dual lever controls, which are shown here, then pushing the control that is closest to the operator forward will lower the arms. And then pushing forward the control lever that is furthest from the operator will lower the forks. If the cab is equipped with a single lever joystick control, which is shown here, then press the center switch, here, to activate the joystick. Then push the joystick forward to lower the arms. And push the button here, which will be the button furthest from the operator, to lower the 2 forks. Then the fork and arm assemblies are lowered into position to be able to lift the dumpster. The garbage truck needs to be positioned in line with the container, and then the vehicle is driven forward slowly until the forks are all the way through the container fork pockets. Then the arms are raised. And the following is how each of the 3 joysticks function to raise the 2 arms and the 2 forks. For the dual-axis single-lever joystick, the joystick is pulled back to raise the arms. And then the joystick is pulled towards the operator to raise the forks. For the dual lever controls, the closest lever to the operator, when pulled back, will raise the arms. And the furthest away lever from the operator, when pulled back, raises the forks. For the single lever joystick, first, the center switch is pressed, here, to activate the joystick. Then the lever is pulled back to raise the arms. And the closest button to the operator is pushed to raise the forks. Now the arms and forks are lifted, lifting up the dumpster as well. The forks need to be adjusted on the way up, to make sure the container is as level as possible. Then, as the arms get over the hopper, the forks need to be completely raised to empty out the container. When the container is empty, then the forks are lowered until the container has cleared the hopper and the forks are vertical. Then the arms are lowered to return the container to the ground. Then the forks are adjusted so that the garbage truck can back away from the dumpster. Then the forks and arms are moved into one of the 3 travel positions. Then the operator presses the AutoPack function button on the control panel for the packer blade to cycle through a compaction of the waste. Then the operator presses the close door button on the control panel to close the top door. And then the operator drives on to the next site. Here is the inside of the cab again. Here, again, is the control panel. Do you recognize the control buttons that we've already learned about? Let's now take a closer look at all of the controls. We've already discussed this control panel button. This is the hydraulic pump button. Press it to turn on the hydraulic fluid pump. When the pump is on, the indicator light will be green. Press again to turn off the hydraulic fluid pump. This button is the tailgate close button. Press and hold to close the tailgate. You must also press and hold the activate button while pressing down this button. And this is the activate button. Press and hold this button to enable the tailgate buttons. This button is the tailgate open button. Press and hold to open the tailgate. You must also press and hold the activate button while pressing down this button. This is the top door open button. Press and hold this button to open the top door. The indicator light above the button will be green when the top door is completely open. This is the top door close button. Press and hold this button to close the top door. The indicator light above the button is red when the top door is fully closed. This is the side door open warning lights. When the side door is open or ajar, the two orange lights here flash. So the operator needs to manually close the side door with their hands. The hydraulic systems will not function when this light is flashing and the side door is open. This is the auto pack eject button and lights. Press this button to start the auto pack cycle. The two red lights will flash when the pack eject cycle is active. This is the retract button and lights. Press this button to retract the pack eject blade to the home position. The light will be green when the pack eject blade is retracted into the home position. This is the extend button. Press this button to extend the pack eject blade. Pressing this button will stop the auto pack mode if it was active. The red light will light up when the pack eject blade is extended. The pack eject blade will not extend to the full eject mode unless the tailgate is fully open. This is the arm over body override button. Press and hold this button to override the interlock to operate the pack eject blade function when the arms are above the body. The light will be green when the arm is in this mode. This is the remote button. Press the button to enable the outside control box. The indicator light here will then be green. Press the button again to disable the outside control box. Then the light here will turn off. The outside control box is an option available for front loader garbage trucks, but this is not a very common feature. This is the residential mode button. Press this button to enable the auto dump and residential controls when using either the dual lever joystick or the electronic joystick. Press the button again to disable the auto dump feature. The light here will be green when in this mode. This is the rear work light button, which is optional equipment. Press this button to turn on the rear work lights. Press the button again to turn off the rear work lights. The truck must be moving less than 10 miles per hour for the rear work lights to come on. The light here will be green when the rear work lights are on. This is the tag axle raise button, which is optional equipment. Press this button to raise the tag axle. This button light will be green when the tag axle is in the fully raised position. This is the tag axle lower button, which is optional equipment. Press this button to lower the tag axle. This button light will be green when the tag axle is in the fully lowered position. This is the work light button, which is optional equipment. Press this button to turn on the work lights. Press the button again to turn off the work lights. The light here will be green when the work lights are on. This is the pusher axle raise button, which is optional equipment. Press this button to raise the pusher axle. This button's light will be green when the pusher axle is in the fully raised position. This is the pusher axle lower button, which is optional equipment. Press this button to lower the pusher axle. This button's light will be green when the pusher axle is in the fully lowered position. This is the strobe light button, which is optional equipment. Press this button to turn on the strobe lights. Press this button again to turn off the strobe lights. The strobe lights come with an option to be on with the pump. With this option installed, this button will not turn the strobe lights off when the pump is on. This light will be green when the strobe lights are on. For residential trash cart pickup, the front loader can be equipped with a carry can, such as this type. The carry can is mounted and secured to the fork assembly. And this is when this button is used, the residential mode button, which uses an auto dump feature. This carry can is for picking up and dumping these residential trash carts. And this type of carry can uses grippers on the curbside to grab a hold of the trash carts and lift them and empty them into the cart. We hope you have learned a lot from this video. Please hit like and subscribe, that helps a lot. And thank you for watching.
Feed your brain.